This is a tutorial on using the Jenny dialogue engine with Flutter and Flame to learn how to use both Flutter and Flame. This is actually video 5 of the tutorial series, so after I complete the video I'll drop it right under here, and in the description of the playlist you'll have the link to the GitHub repository with the code. And the code is arranged, so I've been putting these commits in, individual commit is. So the first tutorial is at commit 2, 3, 4, and this will be commit 5 when I complete it. Just transport it to the future, and I finished the commit 5 for this tutorial, and there's a little summary here if you click on these 3 dots, what each of the commit sections is. Today we're going to use the yarn spinner language, which is I have in the yarn folder here, to handle these options. Most of our interaction with the Flame game is within this one file project view component, which I'm using a DialogueView mixin. I actually ran into some problems using it as a mixin, so I'm pulling Jenny now from the GitHub repository. I think the developer might have just updated it slightly since I started this tutorial series. We're using these completers to control the flow. I'm going to create another completer for the choice. The choice will return the integer when you make a decision. Call it choice completer. The choice completer is a language construct from Dart, and we're using it to see when the callback has been completed. So there's a onChoiceStart from Jenny. Okay, I'm going to click on this, and then I'll search for choice. So there's this construct here, onChoiceStart. So we'll just copy this. Should come up on autocomplete, but it's not. And we will drop it in here. Under the online start. Whoops. We'll have this thing return the choice completer. Return choice completer dot future. So send the onChoiceStart. We'll first create a new choice completer. And then there's a button component for the entire screen here called forward button component right there. So I'm going to delete it so it doesn't interfere with the other buttons. So I'll just remove it from the parent. Main dialog text component. It'll be overwritten, but I'll just set a default here. create another method to get the choice. Future void get choice. I'll go dialog choice, which is from Jenny. And I'll just start by returning the. Actually, I think I want to use this one to move forward. Forward completer.future. Okay, let's drop it into the onChoiceStart here. Get. And we'll make this async. I think we're getting set up here. I'm going to create a for loop to cycle between the different choices. For int I equals 0, I is less than choice dot options dot length. So it's the length of the amount of choices you have. I plus plus plus, and then we'll do some good stuff in here. So this choices are from the yarn file, so there'll be 3 different choices here. It'll be in an array. And we can process the choices in this loop here. So I'm using a blank array to hold my buttons. We'll go button component. Just list, and we'll create an empty array of buttons. So I'll make the buttons on the screen here. We'll just put it out here as buttons. So I'm first going to add it to the options list. And let's start constructing our button. Button component. And we'll make a position. So it'll be 30 pixels in from the left. And then for the Y coordinate, I'm going to do 50, space it at 50 pixel intervals, which should be, I think, enough for most of the formats of the game. So we have the position of the button, and then we need what's going to appear on the button, which will be a text component. And we'll have the text here. And we'll just say choice. We'll get the number of the choice. Kind of get things started. It would be I plus 1, because the first element of the array will be 0. So we want it to be 1, 2, 3, and not 0, 1, 2. And we'll get the text, which is choice. From there, dot options. It'll be an array, and but we know the element of the array because it's sending it to us, and we'll grab the text from that. Oh, right now our button's not doing anything, but let's maybe try to add it in first, see whether it works at all. And we need the list of the buttons, so I'll call it options list. It's right there. We're adding each button, and then we're going to add the entire list of buttons to the screen, hopefully. So he's starting to chat up with her. She's on a trip. He's playing safe, seeing his grandparents. She's talking to him. He'll be at Colombia. He's legit. And we have the buttons appearing here, but there's no action on the buttons applied yet. So let's apply the actions, and then we can adjust the styling. All right. So to get the action going, we need to have an on pressed here. On in the right place. Oops. Okay. On, there it is. On pressed. Right. Where's that? So we're first going to check if the completer that we built is already completed. So it is completed. It's from Dart. And if not, we'll just complete it. But we're going to pass it the element of the array. And this is how we know what choice was made. So there's another method in here for onChoice, which is not coming up. So I'm going to click on the dialog view again, and I'll look for onChoiceFinish. So I will grab it, and I'll drop it in here. We'll override it. And we'll take some action when the choice has been finished. So main dialog text component dot text. We'll empty the options list again to prepare for the next dialog that will come up. So this array that we've been building up with the buttons, we're going to delete it when the option has been made. And I'm going to zero out the options list. And I'll add back in the, what do I call it, next, forward. Okay, let's quickly test it out here. He's chatting up with her. Save to the choice. It's hard to see. I'll change the styling later. I'll probably make this one darker too. So I'm going to select choice 2, hope to see you again. and it's registering. Let's test it again. I'll select choice 3. I'd like to go on a date with you. That's the decision here. But let's go into our dialogue in our yarn file. We can put some additional information here. So let's try the first one here. Let's grab lunch in the cafe. So, Natsuki, or her name's Kemi. See, she'll go, oh, I'm getting hungry. I was just thinking of going. Ken. Awesome. How about my son, the cafe? Okay, let's go. And then here we would branch it, but let's maybe we'll meet again. Ken, I hope so. And in the future videos, we'll branch it here, but I'm just showing that you can have some additional dialogue. I think this one's a bit too bold. Okay, see what we got here. So this is a decision here, and we'll create the first choice. And you'll see that there'll be the first piece of dialogue there. He's trying to get her to the cafe, and then she's going to go. So at this point, we're going to flip the scene to another scene. We're going to change it to the cafe. So I will need to find a cafe shot here, but we'll see what happens here. So the second one is he's not doing too well. So let's just say we'll meet again, and it's right there. In future videos, we'll do the jumping to the different scenes. We'll style our buttons a bit better for the decision, and we'll add some variables in so that maybe he's getting some romantic points based on how skillful he is with the conversation and the upcoming dates. Well, hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel, and you can get updates on when the new tutorials come out. Have a great day.